Hey guys! Today I saw this custom lobby, called Jump to Enchant. It worked by randomly adding an enchantment to your item that you're holding when you jumped. It also had a small chance to add 100 or even 1000 of an enchantment in one jump. So you know the deal. We are gonna figure out how this works, and code a similar game, called Break to Enchant. And yes, this is all legit and no illegal copy. The owner, shout out to Leafwing at this point, gave me permission to make this video. You will find the link to the original game below. Now let's start the process of making the code. So for now we will just hardcode what enchantment we want. In my example it is horizontal knockback. Next we will check what, and if the player is holding an item. That all stands in this variable. If you don't know what a variable is or if this whole tutorial is too fast for you, this is episode 2 of my coding tutorial series. You might want to watch the other tutorial I made first. But I'm still trying my best, making this as beginner friendly as I can. But if you really want to invest your time into coding, to get really good, you should consider Bloxd Mayhem's video. He explains the very basic stuff very easy. I will link that tutorial below. Now attributes is a really cool thing in Bloxd. The best example are enchantments. They are custom attributes in Bloxd, what mean they can be defined for an item, and that item will get the effects of the enchantments. In that first if loop, we are checking if the item already has an enchantment attribute, if not it will add it. In the second one we are checking if the item already has the specific enchantment we want to add. If it does not, it sets the enchantment level to 1. If it does have it, it will add 1 level to that enchantment. The 3 lines below that are hard to explain. So Bloxd actually limits the amount of enchantment you can have on an item, but with this we bypass this limit by manually overwriting the enchantment attribute. In the last 3 lines of code, we get the item slot that the item is in, we want to change, then we replace the item without the enchantment with a new item that has the new enchantment. Believe me or not, but this is the best and really only way. And look! It's working! With every click on the code block, it adds 1 level of horizontal knockback. Now the next thing we do is, first we have all the enchantments defined in an array. Then we chose a random one of them. We do that by generating a random number between 0 and the amount of enchantments in the array. And then we use the enchantment that is in that spot of the array. The first spot of an array does not have the number 1 as definition, but the number 0. So for example, if the randomly generated number is 1, the enchantment, critical damage will be chosen. The rest of the code stays the same. That is all what changed until this point. Now let's test. And as you see, we don't get the same enchantment every time, but always a random one. Now we add it into world code. This means we don't have to click it ourselves every time, because now we can define it to always activate, for example when the player breaks a block. And that is exactly what we are going to do. This works by always checking when the player has changed a block. And if he did, we check if the player changed it to his heir. If it is, we know the player broke a block. So we have to put all the code, except the array with the enchantments, into the if loop and the onPlayerChangeBlock function. So let's put that into the world code and test it. And you can see. Nothing happens when I place a block, but if I break one, an enchantment gets added to the item I am holding. Next is the last stage. I think this one can be difficult to understand, but I will give my best to explain it beginner friendly. So the base is still the same. We check if the player broke a block, and if he did we choose an random enchantment and add it to the held item. But what's new is, we added a multiplier. What you see here is a new defined function, called getMulti. When it is called, it generates a random number between 0 and 1000. Then we check if the generated number is smaller or equal to 5, what translates to a 0.5% chance. If we get that, we return 1000. If we don't, we check the next thing, which is, if it's smaller or equal to 50, what is a 5% chance? When we get that, we return 100. Else we return 1. So when we define the multiple variable at the top of the code, it is a 0.5% chance multi is 1000, a 5% chance it is 100 and a 94.5% chance it is just 1. Then we just have to multiply the enchantment added by our multiple variable, and we have a small chance that instead of getting just 1 extra level, we get 100 or even 1000 extra levels. So let's test that new and last addition we made by copying it into world code and breaking a lot of blocks with an item until we get that multiplier. Let me take a new item that isn't already enchanted. And now, breaking time lapse. What a great time to ask for in sub and alike. As you already see, some enchantment have a C in their level, that means 100. So I confidently can say it works perfectly. Now mining aura has an M, what is a 1000? So have a great day, and a lot of fun coding everyone. Bye.